December of 2023. I asked a question to myself: who am I? Up until now, I had been first defined by the school I was in, then the university, and then the job. It was always, hi, I'm XYZ and I work at APC. And honestly, I was tired of it. I wanted to be defined by something I did, something I made. I felt that my identity was muddled up with countless others. I wanted to make something I was proud of. I wanted to make something that others enjoyed. I wanted to make games. I made my first game, Undersea Horror, in a week. Looking back now, it was pretty ambitious. Get this: custom made pixel art, multiple types of enemies, light mask, path following AI. It was a typical underwater level. Playing the game now, I can say in retrospective that it is not that good. I mean, it is ugly for once and very boring to play. However, this was an important milestone for me, as this marked the start of my game dev journey. My second title, Overland Action, was a platformer that I'm honestly pretty proud of. It has pretty solid mechanics, all things considered. I mean, you can wall jump. How cool is that? Even ignoring that, the game is just plain fun to play. It is the right amount of tough, and I can actually see people playing this game if I were to give it some polish and make its level a little bit better. Overland Rogue. Now, this is a game that I don't particularly like. During this time, Vampire Survivors was at the peak of its popularity, and I tried to capitalize on that, but it did not go well. The game was ugly, the video did not perform well, and it was a nightmare to make. It was way too ambitious. I mean, I even gave it multiple endings. My next two games were of the similar story, so I decided to make my games a little shorter, focus on just one game mechanic rather than a bunch of them. The first product of this new mentality was Undercave Grappling. Oh man, I love this game. It has a grappling hook and a dragon that I drew by my own hand. In fact, everything in this game is hand-drawn, and the video popped off as well. It was my first video that reached 100 views, and good things were not about to end. My next game, Outpunched, broke through all records. It is, till date, my highest performing devlog, and it shows no signs of stopping. The game in itself is pretty simple in nature. It is just a fighting game, and gosh darn is it good. Of course, the game has no combos and only a single character. After this, I was on cloud 9. I had honestly thought that I had won the YouTube algorithm, that going forward, all my videos will perform like this. Oh boy, was I wrong. My next devlog tanked, and it tanked hard. It received no views. YouTube just refused to give it any impressions at all. I was so disappointed. But I received one good news that made up for it. I earned money. Yes, someone actually donated to Outpunched. How much, you might ask? Well, drum roll please. $2. Although this money was not even enough to buy me a cup of coffee, but I felt like the happiest man alive, because for me, this was one step closer to my dream. My next game, Godot, is my highest downloaded game yet, and my personal favorite game as well, because it is just a plain old good FPS, ripped straight out of Doom. It was a joy to make, and I enjoyed every single bit of it. And it honestly plays and feels pretty great, considering it's my first 3D game ever. Godot marked my transition from 2D to 3D, as going forward, all my titles were primarily 3D games. Take, for example, Go Fighter 3D. It is a spiritual successor to Outpunched, but in 3D. I mean, I even learned Blender for it, and in fact, the character in this game is made by me, and I was so proud of it, it even is my profile picture now. Suffice to say, this was a pretty successful game, as it taught me a lot about 3D modeling, rigging in general, which was pretty lacking in my arsenal. My final game till the making of this video is Legacy of Godot. This game was a little experiment by me. Essentially, I tried to merge 2D and 3D graphics. That is, all the characters are in 2D, whereas all the environments and everything surrounding it is done in 3D. And yeah, apart from that, it is just a pretty basic yet solid top-down action game, and it's a homage to the old Legacy of Goku games. And I don't want to guess how many of you might have played, but much less heard of that game because that answer would probably come down to 0. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I do not know where I will go from here or what I will do. I would still be making games, but let's see how it goes. And if you want to come with me on this journey, why don't you subscribe? And then let's see where we can go from here together. Yeah, until then, bye bye.